Hey there, virtual chemistry students. My name is Mrs. Donovan, and I'm going to be your virtual chemistry teacher for this year. I'm very excited to get started with learning, but first things first, we need to learn a little bit more about me and a little bit more about this course, and I can't wait to get to know you as well. I've actually been teaching at Boyertown for more than 15 years, and I actually do have experience at all three levels of chemistry, including academic honors and also the AP level. I have three daughters. Believe it or not, they do attend the district. They are aged 11, 9, and 7, so it's pretty busy over here, but hey, we're always going to make time for you. I actually attended college right down the street at Ursinus College. That's where I got my undergraduate degree, and then I got my graduate degree from the University of Massachusetts. Now, first things first, we got to get you started. Now, if you haven't received it already, you should now see popping up next to you a join code for the Google Classroom. We need to get you in there. All of our assignments for the class are always going to filter into the Google Classroom, so always check there first. Now, once you actually join the Google Classroom, this is a little bit about what you should actually be seeing. Notice that you should not see anything in this general area, the stream area. I'm not a big fan of using the stream area. Things get lost too easily in this section. So instead, everything is going to filter through the Classwork tab, which is located here at the top. So that should be your first stop. Always go to the Classwork tab. Once you see that, there are a couple key features that you do need to be aware of. Now, I have taken online classes, quite a few of them actually before, and the one thing that always, I guess, makes me a little frustrated is that they can be very hard to navigate because every tiny little assignment is its own little line on this whole big course. So I'm hoping that we can together figure out a way of making this a little bit easier for you to manage. So far, this is what we're going to have to work with. All of the assignments for 1 week are going to be grouped together in the same topic, and I'll also make sure that the date is in that topic. Now, if an assignment should kind of belong to a certain day, even though we're asynchronous and you can complete it when you need to complete it, I have a suggested pacing for you underneath that topic. So if I think that something should be completed on a Monday, then I've labeled it Monday for you. Now, I know that you have 2 weeks to complete your materials. However, I'm going to encourage you to stay with the pace of the course. Don't let yourself fall behind. So although materials for this course, this first week, are actually due on September the 3rd, I'm going to encourage you to actually try and finish those by Friday this week. I'm even considering giving you some bonus points for trying that out for me. Now, let's take a look at a little bit about the structure of what you might be going through week by week, and specifically this week. Now, remember how I said that navigating a Google Classroom can kind of be, well, hard at best? I didn't like it very much. So what I've actually made for you is a class website. Now, I have a little bit of an easier time navigating class websites, that's for sure. So this might be an easier place for you to go to try and figure out what you need to do day by day. If you open this link up, this is what you're going to see. Move me down here. There we go. So it's just simply a page. It has 3 buttons on it. I figured 3 buttons was pretty much a lot easier. Here's what you're actually going to find on here. Firstly, my contact information. If you need to get in contact with me, this is kind of, important. So it'll have my phone number, my email address, what hours you should be able to get in contact with me, all of that important business. More than that, this little need assistance button. Every once in a while, you're probably going to go, I wish I could just have a little bit of help with, and then insert topic here. I have a whole host of extra resources ready to go for you, and also different places that you can go to try and get help. Of course, one of the best places that you can go to help is really just to reach out to me. So I've included my email address here at the bottom. Again, that could be in the contact information here on our class website. Please don't hesitate. There's really no question that's too small. I'm really here to help you. We're going to get through this together. Now, the most important section on this little website is the 3rd button that we haven't talked about yet. which is right here, your weekly assignments calendar. Now, this is literally where everything is going to filter through. So you're going to become very familiar with this button. Now, when you click it, you're going to notice that you have a weekly calendar of events. It tells you what date those items should be posted by and what date those items should be due on. The very first and top line here is August 23rd to August 27th. That's this week of school. Notice that it's kind of highlighted. That means that there's a hyperlink there. If you click it, it's actually going to take you immediately to all of the assignments that we have for this week. That page looks like this. Ta-da! Now, I don't know about you, but this looks a lot nicer to me than looking at a plain old Google Classroom list. Because now I can see exactly what I need to do on every single day and when I kind of need to have it done by. Now, I'm also going to link this page directly into your week 1 assignments. So right underneath where it says week 1, if you click on it, there's this exact page will pop up for you. So you can actually read through it. Now let's take a little bit closer look at what one of these days might actually look like for you. Now, this is just a close-up look at Monday. So notice I have 4 assignments here listed for you for Monday. And it also tells you a little bit about what we're supposed to be learning about that day. So on Monday, we're just supposed to kind of get a feel for, hey, welcome to chemistry. This is a little bit more about the course. Right now, you're actually completing your first assignment right now, watching your welcome video, which is an Edpuzzle assignment. You're actually going to get points for having this finished. Yay! But then after, notice that there are 3 assignments listed and that they have that little line under them and that they're a slightly different color. That means that there's a hyperlink there. That's actually linked back into Google Classroom. If you're on this page, all you need to do is click and the assignment will automatically open for you. You don't need to go back to Google Classroom and try and desperately search for that long list of stuff to try and figure out, what does she mean by week 1 checklist? I don't know. Well, have no fear. Click on it and it will open for you. I'm trying to make this a little bit easier. Some other things that you're going to be seeing as you navigate through the course. Okay, well, like what is this week 1 checklist thing all about anyway? I'd like to show that to you. Now, the week 1 checklist, you're actually going to get a checklist week by week. I'll put my face over here. And this is simply a Google slide that's going to pop open that lists all of the assignments that are going to be pushed out during the course of the week, so that even if you're not following along with the exact pace of the course, you can at least keep track of where you are progress-wise for that week. As you're finishing these assignments, you can simply take one of these little red squares, or red X's rather, and then place them over the X for that particular assignment. Now, this is a 3-page slide. So on the next slide, we're going to get a little bit more detailed information from you for this week. These are all of the graded assignments for the week. As you get those grades back, I'd like you to enter them here on this slide. We're going to add up those total points for that whole week and put them down at the bottom to try and figure out what your percentage for the week is. And then on the third and final slide, I'd like you to reflect on your work over the course of that week. This is just kind of a little bit of a guide, but where I think you might fall if you're somewhere between a 90 to 100%. I think you're doing great. You're doing a great job. Probably don't need any intervention, any help at this point. If you're somewhere between an 80 and a 90, you're still doing really great. But you might need to be a little bit more careful in a couple of that little detail work. I'd be very happy to help you out with anything that you'd like. If you're somewhere between a 70 to an 80, it's kind of a yellow light territory. We need to start being a little bit more careful. It's probably a good idea to start reaching out for a little bit of help before things get any worse. But of course, if you're below that 70% mark, it really is your responsibility to be reaching out. We do need to get you help. And if you haven't reached out to me yet, I probably will be reaching out to you. I'm just going to ask you to also reflect on these 2 questions by simply putting in a sentence or 2 about how you feel about these 2 items. So how would you rank yourself? Would you be in that 90 to 100 category, or are you in that below 70 category? And is there anything specifically that you need more help on from the materials that we've learned this week? So that's one item that may actually help you progress through the course. You can keep this checklist open at the beginning of the week so you can actually track your progress. At the end of the week, once everything is completed on this checklist, hand it in and I'll get you some points for it. Another assignment that will actually be happening throughout the week, and you're not going to turn this in until it's completely finished, is our digital journal. Now, you will have a textbook for the course. You should have picked that up at the library or will be picking up that up at the library today. And you will have reading assignments from it. So as you're having these reading assignments, yes, I am going to ask you to take some notes, and they're going to all go into this digital journal. Now we're going to learn a little bit more about that note-taking, and I'm going to guide you a little bit more with the note-taking process early in this course. But as we progress, I'm going to give you less of that guidance and see if you can do more of that on your own. It's a pretty good life skill to be able to read a book and realize what's really important on the page. Now notice that there's a whole bunch of tabs on the side. So we're going to be having this open for multiple days. And again, I'm going to have that hyperlinked so you don't have to worry about it. But if I said you're going to do section 1 of your digital journal, then you simply need to click on the section 1 tab. It will open up for you and your assignment will be loaded just simply on the top of that page. Now, as you open your digital journal, if you ever get lost or you're not really sure what anything is, there's also a table of contents page included on the inside there. So again, all you need to do is kind of read where you're at. Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. She's talking about section 3. That's the green tab. Okay, so I should go there, and so on and so forth. But simply, you just need to click and it should take you right there. Once your digital journal is all completed, then you can submit that for some final grading. Now, of course, this is something I'd be very happy to work with you on. So during the course of the week, if you'd like to set up an appointment that we can meet over, like, say, Google Meet, I'd be happy to look over your assignment for you and give you some feedback so you can try and get as many points as you possibly can. Of course, ultimately, the goal is that you understand all of the material before the end of that week. Another tool which we will be using this week and throughout the course is called ClassKick. Now, ClassKick is very similar to a Google Slide, but it has some different tools on it, which I like, at least on the teacher side, and I think you're going to like it on the student side as well. It's a lot like a digital journal, but we're going to use this over a span of several days. So as soon as you're finished with the last slide, then you can go ahead and submit that assignment as a kind of an indication that you're finished and that you're ready for grading. But again, if you have any questions about this, I'd be very happy to help you. It's pretty self-explanatory. When you click on the assignment, this lovely little view should open up, and you can simply click on each one of the slides to progress through. And a lot of the times it's just fill in the blank. So if you click on the blank where it says fill in the blank, and you can start to type your response, everything should be okay. Alrighty, so that's all I pretty much have for you for this little week 1 overview. Now, I know that you're probably going to have many, many more questions, and that's really okay. There's really no question too small to feel like you can't ask it. Just fire it away. It's better than having, anxiety about it and all that good stuff. The only thing I'm going to ask for you is just a little bit of grace this week. Now, we're both learning this a little bit together. So you're going to be learning a little bit about the structure of the course. I'm going to try and help you through that and help make it better. Am I going to be 100% perfect all the time? Probably not. So if you see something that looks a little off or a little incorrect, please feel free to contact me. You're not going to offend me. I want to make it good for all students, which would be great. So you'd actually be helping me out. And again, I will try and be there for you as much as I possibly can. I'd love to meet with you as many times as we can. We can use Google Meet, email, phone calls, whatever you need. I'm here for you. Now, the one thing I did want to warn you about is that I did have to prepare 2 weeks of material ahead of the course even launching. Now, you weren't populated into my Google Classroom ahead of that, and a lot of programs talk to Google Classroom. So on Monday, I need to spend a pretty good amount of time going back in through these different programs and making sure that you're loaded into it. Now, I don't anticipate any hiccups, but if for some reason a program isn't working for you and it's not loading you in appropriately, you need to let me know as soon as possible so that I can go back in and make sure that you're a part of that particular class in that particular program. I don't anticipate too many hiccups this week. I think I know exactly what we need to do. So please just do your best. That's all I can ask for. And I'm sure we're going to have a great year. Thank you so much. And I'll see you on the digital classroom.